Hi kids, today we're going to investigate decimal multiplication using fractions. Let's start out with the word problem that you see on your screen. We are also going to incorporate our read strategy while we are working on solving this problem. The distance from Charlene's house to her school is 8/10 of a mile. Charlene rides her bike 7/10 of the distance and walks the rest of the way. How far does Charlene ride her bike to school? If we look at our read strategy, this is already in your journal, by the way. We have talked about how to incorporate this into our problems. And so the first thing that we're doing is focusing on the question. So you reread it to yourself and focus on this question. Okay, now that you've done that, we're going to look at our next part of the strategy, which tells us to take out the important information and extract that information. In this case, it's the distance to school and, how far she is riding her bike. This is a question that we're focusing on, how far she is going to ride her bike. And then the information that we need in order to solve, we have placed that there on our end. The next thing that we're going to do is apply our strategy. And in this case, we're going to use multiplication, and we're going to multiply 8/10 times 7/10 using a fraction in order to do that. So let's get started on this part of the problem. Now that I have the information that I need, I can go ahead and begin solving. Now, I am going to change the 8/10 and the 7/10 in fraction form and multiply. So to write 8/10 of the decimal, we would write 8/10, and we'll multiply that by 7/10. So we could have, to write them as fractions, to write 8/10 as a fraction and 7/10 as a fraction, we would put it over the unit measurement of 10. And then we would just simply multiply our basic facts. 8 times 7 is 56. And then we would multiply 10 times 10 to give us 100. Because 1 times 1 is 1. We have our 2 zeros. Now all we need to do is translate this into its decimal equivalent. So now we want to make it go back into a decimal. So 56 hundredths is this number. And we write 56 hundredths as 0 and 56 hundredths 0.56. That's how we would write that. And then the next thing that we have to do is to defend our answer. And we've been working on writing defenses. Sometimes you're asked to defend your strategy or explain your strategy, and other times you're asked to defend your answer. So we've been doing a lot of work with defending our strategy, so now we are going to look at defending our answer. And so what we talked about, one of the things that we can do with fractions and decimals is to estimate. And so the defense that is written here is an example of one. And the questions asked us in our defense, does our answer make sense, and explain why. Yes, because I estimated 8/10 to 1, 7/10 to 1. And then we multiply 1 times 1. And it's going to equal 1. And that is close to 56 hundredths. So your answer of 56 miles is reasonable. Okay? Let's try some more problems. This strategy also works when we are multiplying decimals greater than 1. So we have 3/10 times 1 and 4/10. So the decimal 1 and 4/10 is a decimal greater than 1. And so we will apply the same strategy as we did before using fractions. So we would write 3/10 as a fraction. And then we would take the fraction greater than 1, and we would put 14 over 10. And I know that I need to put this over 10 and have a 10 because there is a 10th place here, and that's what I'm looking at. And then I simply need to multiply. 3 times 14. So you can go off to the side and show your work. 3 times 14. 3 times 4 is 12. So that'll be 42 here. And then we multiply 10 times 10, and that will be 100. And now we change this back into a decimal, and so 42 hundredths, we would write 42 hundredths as 0.42. And that's all there is to it. Why don't you pause the video and try number 3 on your own? Okay, go ahead, pause the video now. Okay, hopefully you've gotten this far where you've made your decimal 2/10 into the fraction 2/10, 2/10, and you made 1 2/10, a fraction of 12/10. And remember, because we see this number in the tens place, that lets us know that we need to put this in the tens place. 2 times 12, that's the basic fact, and we know that's going to be 24. And we put 24 over 100, and then we just need to transfer 24 hundredths back into the decimal, and we will have 0 and 24 hundredths is 0.24. Now, back to the one that we did in the beginning of the video, a quick review. Why don't you pause the video and work on this one very quickly. Pause the video, get to work. Okay, did you get 24 hundredths? I sure do hope so. Now, I would like for you to try these 4 problems on your own in your math journal. Don't forget to do your list, get on Edmodo, and turn in this video assignment. But before we get started on all of that, I would like for you to meet 2 friends. Here they are. These are my pets, and Gabe is a pit bull, and Gabby is our, she's actually a pit bull husky mix. And these 2 dogs keep us extremely busy, especially this one right here. She's always getting into stuff, and she does some funny things. I'll have to share some more things with you. But on this particular day, she was very proud of herself for catching this lizard. That's one of the things that she loves to do in our backyard. She's chasing lizards all the time. And she actually is pretty fast, so she usually gets them. And there's the poor lizard right there that she caught. Okay, enough about our pets. I'll share some more things about them later. But here's your you try problems that I want you to work on. And don't forget to turn in your assignment on Edmodo. Make sure that you are prepared for class tomorrow.